Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ground Up podcast. We are excited to come to you from the B2 Wellness Suites in blah, 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 blah. What happened? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ground Up podcast. Today we are coming to you from, I gotta start that one again. So sorry. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ground Up podcast, the podcast that turns pain into pivot, helps you understand how to avoid the pitfalls with your business. We are here to help every entrepreneur on every level, give you some insights, some tips, some tricks on how to get your business running and moving in the way that you'd like it to do. We are coming to you from the B2 Wellness Suites penthouse here at the Nashville Fit podcast studios, and we are thankful for our sponsor of our studio, Level Wellness. And today it is just Vanessa and myself. Vanessa, how are you doing?
I'm great, Terry. How are you doing?
I barely got through that intro.
It's because it's the afternoon, and the brain in the afternoon is so much different at 4 p.m. than it is 4 a.m.
Unless you're listening to this on WNSR, in which case it is 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
But just know.
Just know, this one is recorded in the afternoon. I'm excited to be back with you. Our good buddy Roy is incapacitated today. That sounds like he's injured, but it's not. No, he's busy taking calls, doing business for Barbell Voodoo. No,
poor Roy.
He's fine. He's not hurt. Roy, we miss you. And your jokes about my hair.
Not today, he says. Not today.
Today we're gonna cover some things. Some foundational things in the world of entrepreneurship. We do a lot of talking to entrepreneurs. So that this is that show, right? We're the show that unpacks some of that difficult stuff, and we try to make it simple. So we wanted to talk about that today. We want to talk about some entrepreneurial foundational things.
Yes.
I think this week alone, we are currently recording this at the end of a very busy week. I want to say close to 25 different calls this week.
Yeah, it feels like a lot more than that. I'm not even sure. Is it only Thursday?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
Lots of calls, lots of meetings, a lot of sit downs with folks. We met with an individual yesterday and talking, saw an Instagram post and was interested to come in and talk to us about his business. Mm-hmm. And that kind of inspired me to address some of those things on this podcast. So, Vanessa, did you know that foundationally speaking, all business is the same?
I did know that. Huh. I have learned that.
Or at least it should be.
Yeah.
At least it should be. Yeah. So you here at B2 Wellness, how many businesses do you have between the two locations? Like renting
tenants. We have 50 plus. I don't know a current number because we do share space tenants, sure. So part-time office space as well as full-time office space, but we do have 50 plus businesses. I would say probably closer to 60 if I were to count right now.
Common problems that you hear from a lot of these business owner tenants?
Time is a big issue of how to manage your time of running the business versus, especially with our type of business, businesses, a service-based business where you're in the business. And so time to work on the business is problematic while you're trying to get clients and market yourself and promote yourself while you're in back-to-back sessions to bring the income in to get you to where you don't have to be doing that as much. So yeah, it's a fine balance.
What are some examples of working on the business as opposed to in it?
Being on the computer when you're marketing, when you're working on your bookkeeping, if you have anybody else that works with you, it comes down to even paying your rent and managing your space and decorating and making sure the customer experience is where it needs to be. So all of those pieces are involved in working on the business versus actually being in the business and seeing clients day to day.
That's what I believe makes the difference between a service provider and a business owner.
Yeah.
Like the ability to not only work on the business as opposed to in it. More time, right, split working on it than in it, and having a team of individuals that can facilitate your SOPs, right? Your processes, your systems, which means you've written them
Mm-hmm.
and you've
Or
trained
they're
them.
kind of there.
Yeah. And they're people are operating based on those, or using SOPs to create job descriptions and so on and so forth. So those are some of the foundational things that we're gonna talk about. So on the basis level, whether whether it's like Home City Ice, Nissan, Ford, or Bodywell,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what business it is, the foundations are the same. Where do you start when you start a business? Pop quiz, Vanessa, go.
Where should you start, or where did I start?
Well, I'm interested. Where did you start? Like, what was the first thing?
There was when I started, there was no thought about it actually being a business. I kind of did it, and then I was like, oh, I have something here.
Mm-hmm.
That was really, I didn't pursue it from an aspect of, I'm going to start my own business. I just pursued it, as we've talked about before. Everything is instinct with me, and I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, starting as a personal trainer, and I just wanted to train people. And then it occurred to me after I started doing that and started bringing money in that I actually had a business. With the team aspect of it, when I started building a team and went to that place with my business, that was honestly, again, out of heart, because I did not want to tell people I couldn't help them.
Right.
And so the only solution that I had at that point was I either hire somebody, or there was no more hours in my day to be able to train people. So that was how I started building a team. But that's when I started building the processes without thinking of them as being processes with regard to paying somebody and figuring out, okay, I need a better system with all these clients coming in than just knowing that somebody writing down a paper schedule, doing a bookkeeping system and all of those things. So it kind of developed itself, and I felt my way through that, and then have gotten a lot better over time. Did you start a business intentionally? Did you go into it with thinking this is how I'm going to structure this, or did you kind of have the same journey?
I went in with, as you well know, I'm sure, I don't know if our listeners know, but I always have a vision first of how it looks, or I don't typically move without one.
Yeah.
Which is problematic when you're solving problems that you have to solve in order to keep your business afloat, because it's blocking the vision, because those are priorities, right? May or may not have been in that space this week. The vision for the business when I started it was I saw myself owning a gym, or owning, a fitness business, to where I was the one meeting with the clients, doing the nutrition work, and helping them, while I had 3 or 4 trainers that were handling the fitness part. So nutrition coach and manager of the trainers. The trainers are out there doing the thing. So I never thought I was actually going to train.
So you started like that.
That was my
Okay.
vision. Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't work. Just so we're clear. It did not work. It didn't have, what I lacked in that moment was the foresight to know that you got to start at the ground floor of even your own business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Build.
So in order to be good at it, you got to know what every position feels like,
mm-hmm.
and the process to it, so that you can understand how to scale it.
And I've struggled with that as I've tried to do other things. Before I became a massage therapist, I had the intention of, I was sending people for massage all the time. And I thought, oh, that would be really cool to have that as part of my business. That was the first time that I really thought, I think I had 2 or 3 trainers at that point. That was the first time that I really thought about, okay, that would be cool to have that part. So I'd had some contacts with some massage therapists. So that's when I actually opened Body Balance Massage.
Mm-hmm.
That was short-lived. It lasted about a year, because again, like what you're talking about, for me, I'm all about connection. And because I wasn't in that part of the business, I had a really difficult time. I didn't understand it as well. I learned a lot from that, but I didn't understand it as well. Once I became a massage therapist and then brought all that in, it made all the difference in the world in how I understood it.
Yeah, same here. So starting from the top down, I was like, well, that didn't work. So fast forward 8 or 9 months, and then when I started again, I was like, I'm just going to train. Now, mind you, Ohio, this is where I started. Business failed, moved to Nashville, working for a company. Got laid off. That tech company did not last after the housing crash and the economy shift in 2008, 2009. So I got laid off, which was fine because I was ready to start training anyway. So I just went to work getting good at being a trainer, reps on reps. So that's kind of the basis of where I want to go. So you've got 3 particular ways in which to start a business. One is you start as a service provider, right? So you start as a service provider. You're like, I'm just going to go do this service anywhere I can do it, right? Until you build you build some hype, you build a client base or whatever. So a lot of trainers get into being gym owners from just being good at having a full book of clients.
Right. Relationships.
And it feels like to them that, man, I got something. I'm going to go open my own thing. And I know that's different. It's the same kind of idea in every industry, right? You got barbers that do that. You got tattoo artists that do that. You've got marketing people that do it, salespeople that do it, lawyers and law firms, accountants, everybody does it. They build their book up and then they peace out and they're like, I can run this thing on my own, which is fine, right? This podcast is for you. The other way folks do it is they typically put all of the things in place first and say, this is the business that I'm going to start. And they muscle through it. There's less of a success rate with that.
I was going to say that sounds so exhausting to me.
I've seen it happen where they're coming to me and they're like, well, I'm going to start this business. Here's my logo. Here's my website. I'm going to go buy my LLC and here's my insurance. And I got this program. It's like, no. Just start doing the thing.
Get clients. Yeah. That's where your money's coming from.
Do the thing, get the clients before you spend all this money and time and all the other stuff. Right. And that's not, you can't necessarily do that in every facet of every industry, but where it applies, let it be the deciding factor.
Right.
The third way in which to get into business is to buy a business, which we did that with Nashville Fit and the Music City Fit Expo. Sometimes that stuff's turnkey. Sometimes you buy it and you have all the processes. We didn't, but you all should know that story by now. If you've been paying attention or listening to any other podcasts about that, how we did that when we got a hold of it. We did have to go back and rebuild it and put systems and processes in. Thought we were going one way, had to go the other.
Pivot.
A very big pivot. So those are the three elements that I want to address and talk about those foundational things and how they go across literally every industry and any size, no matter what. So I want to go deep into that on today's show, and I spent a solid 15 minutes talking about shows.
I mean, that was good information. So it was solid.
So yeah, if you're out there and you're considering starting a business, you're out there thinking about, man, I should just, I'm tired of working for the man. You're in luck because we're going to get into a deeper dive on this. And what we want to be able to do today on the show is to give you at least the mental know-how on how to get this started if this is something that you want to do. Speaking from very, very, very many years of experience.
Yeah. And maybe some tips and tricks that'll make it easier in your transition of what we learned along the way.
No, exactly. So we're going to do that. We're going to get to that right after this break. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
We know prevention is always the best medicine, but our healthcare system can't prevent disease. It only helps when you're already sick. At Kraft Body Scan, we find cancer, heart disease, and other health problems before symptoms appear. And that early detection could be the key to saving your life. Take your health into your own hands. Schedule a couple's heart and lung scan today for only $149. Visit togetherwescan.com.
Okay, before the break, we were talking about foundational items. So let's another pop quiz for Vanessa.
Okay. Yay! I love being the center of your attention.
I'm picking up some sarcasm there, Vanessa. No?
Where is Roy when you need him?
Real quick, what's name one foundational thing that people should know before they start a business? Just one.
Just general foundational things. You need to have a good record keeping system. Just writing things down on paper and collecting money that you're carrying around in your bra like I did when I started is not...
Which business was this?
When I started Bodywell, I was doing personal training and yoga, and people would pay me in cash and checks, and so I would just stick it in the sports bra.
There you go.
And when I started having money falling out when I was doing downward facing dog during my yoga classes, I decided I needed a better method.
Yes, you
so
do.
That's a big foundational piece.
Just picturing this.
It's exactly like what you would.
Did
picture.
Vanessa have work done? No, I think that's cash.
It's cash. That's why it looks like that.
That's why. Is that why one's bigger than the other? No, that's different. So
we're going off the track.
We're off the rails, everybody. No, I think that's a great piece of advice, right? So the foundational things that transcend every industry and every business, I would say record keeping is one. Systems and processes are two. You're going to need to have the things that do make sense to have, like a social media account for your business, unless you're going to flip your personal one into it, which is a little tricky to do that. And I know no one likes to start from scratch on social media, but consider having a place for the business. Unless you want to continue to be a service provider, then you could mix business and personal on your regular profile. So that to me is a very big place to start.
Yeah. And I think the systems and processes if you're just starting out, don't let that overwhelm you. You're going to figure things out along the way. There's going to be a lot of things that you can have in mind what you want to do, and then you're going to see what works better as you go.
Sure.
That's the whole goal. But just know that you need to have some. If you start with the anticipating or with the intention of setting some systems and processes, then it makes things a lot easier. If you just are flying by the seat of your pants all the time, you're going to make your life a lot harder over time.
Yeah. And for lack of a better term, like if you're in college and you're going through business school, they're going to say, in order to do a business, you're going to need a business plan, right? In order to get funding or get funded from a venture capital group or a bank or whatever, you're going to need to have market research. That means you're going to need to know how what's going on in that industry, and then it boils down to your neighbor, into your city, and then into your neighborhood. That's what school will tell you to do too. Market research sucks, or at least it used to before ChatGPT.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. I had a lot of that in the very beginning, early days, but it didn't really matter. I could do the market research and still keep moving. Those are the things. Like a business plan is a process. It's important for you. Not really for anybody else. It's more for you. It's more direction. It's more vision. It's more, where do I want to go with this thing?
Right.
Much like our conversation yesterday, discussing things that the entrepreneur that was in our office didn't necessarily think all the way through. Well, I don't know. He was thinking about jumping completely from his job straight into his own thing, as opposed to finding a way to fade into it. And then, your entrepreneurial hustle is your side hustle, while you keep your main gig, until your side hustle becomes powerful enough to where your main gig is now your side hustle, and then your side hustle is now your main thing.
Right.
Confused?
Just keep some income coming in while you're trying to build it, and it will make things a lot easier.
Correct.
If you just jump straight in, then my thing when I started was I wanted to keep my overhead very low because I didn't want to lose my passion for what I was doing.
Right.
So that is a good reason to keep both pieces in place and try the transition process. Unless you have the means, it's not necessarily that for everybody, but
sure. But then you still got to prove concept. So
yeah.
Whether you're coming from a pile of cash or you're starting this thing from scratch with no dollars, there's still one thing that holds true in that sense, which I'm glad you brought up, is that overhead is a thing, right? So don't put any unnecessary overhead on yourself before you've got good capital coming in, i.e. a website or some sort of newsletter platform like a MailChimp or something like that that's going to have a monthly charge to it. we want to get a couple clients first, right?
Yeah.
You want to be doing the thing. Fun fact, I looked into this years ago about creating a curriculum to certify trainers with. I was surprised at what I found, because in order to get it accredited, they want you to, one, have created the curriculum, two, have put 20 to 100 people through it.
Oh, wow.
Right. Three, show some sort of success rate on it. Like, are they able to apply it? And then the fourth thing is to go pay for the accreditation, not get it reviewed for the accreditation, just pay.
Pay.
That's it.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, you want me to do it first? I just assumed that you would look over judge the curriculum based on an outline. Let me build out the curriculum.
Yeah.
And then then them accredit it before I ever taught it. It's not how it works. So it feels a little bit backwards in that sense. But that said, when you're running a business, you do need a website. That's an important thing. You need a place to capture email addresses and those what we call warm leads that aren't necessarily ready to buy right now. You want to try to capture all the attention that's coming your way, is the point I'm trying to make. There's a cost associated with that you can put off until you've got a few clients.
You can. And then when you do start building those clients, make it as easy as possible on booking. That's one of the big things that I have experienced and am pretty passionate about. If I want to go book a massage, I don't want to have to wait until somebody is in the office to call to try to get that done. The more effort I have to make, the less chance I am going to book that. If it has a book now, so another reason to, once you get those clients starting to come in, get that website. So what did you do after you started training here in Nashville? What was your next step with starting to build your next business?
So training here in Nashville, what I did was, before I had even a location to train, I was training out of my house, and then I was going to other people's houses. I think I had one client come into my house back then. And I went to a lot of people's houses. But what I would do is that I would spend my time, as I'm trying to build the client base, I would spend my time writing. So every day I was writing a blog, or I was sourcing one, quoting it and putting it up. It was terrybargy.blogspot.com, which I'm pretty sure is still up. And then I would go to, back then it was MySpace and Craigslist. And every day I would post a posting about personal training, about it being available. And that worked. That eventually started to work.
So you got a lot from that then.
So, I got enough.
Yeah.
Because once you get going, mind you, I was going to people's houses to do personal training for $25 a session.
I have been there.
In 2010, in a beat up old Mercedes with a cloth grocery bag with 5 and 10 pound weights in it.
I had a Honda with a whole trunk full of weights.
You
I would take weights and bands and a Bozu.
With 3s and 5s in the...
Yeah. I would train people in the park. I would train them in stairwells.
I've trained people in the dark at parks. It's freaking 6 a.m. in the morning.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. You were living. But that for me worked. So I knew that generating content on a regular basis helped you rank with SEO. Mm-hmm. So I later used that knowledge to, when I got a client who actually did web design, we traded. So I was able to trade her for a website, and then she was able to roll all of my blogs into the website. And that website was NashvillePersonalTrainer.net. And that was powerful because every time anybody searched for Nashville or a personal trainer, I'm right there at the top. So that was the business builder for me.
So for me, it was a little different, and there's probably some people out here that are going to experience this too. I got networked into a community. I was working for a physical therapy clinic, supposed to be part-time, but ended up being full-time, and I was doing personal training part-time. And that transition happened exactly like what you were talking about. Right. My personal training business started building so much that I was having to turn people away because of my physical therapy job that I was working. So that's when I knew it was time to take the jump. But for me, I got networked into a community, 2,000 residents, and that's my instant network came from there. So it wasn't something that I had to go out and put. It was way later that I started putting any effort into social media and things like that, because I had the network right there. So it was a little bit different of a journey. And I always wondered how much I needed to put into the social media, because I knew I needed something, but then I couldn't figure out the why if I already had people coming from this network. Over time, as I started hiring more people, then it became a lot more relevant because I needed to generate more business for the team. So it was a little bit different pathway.
Sure. Well, even I think there are slight nuances in other industries. So when it comes to landscaping and lawn care, I was a part owner of a tree business for a while. My business training before I jumped ship to become my own boss was in lawn, landscape, irrigation, lawn treatment, snow removal, like the whole nine. Like that company also did electrical work and handyman work as well. So there were some winters where I was hanging Christmas lights.
Can you come to my house and do that?
No, I've sworn off of that. Like I ended up doing it for a personal training client for years. And then one time I tripped while I was on a roof and I didn't come close to falling, but I was like, what am I doing?
Entrepreneurial note, learn to say no.
Yeah. Why am I up here? Yeah. So that was different because you're out there just doing the thing. And if you're doing it well enough, well, your business card is a lawnmower on the trailer. Mm-hmm. You get people, yelling at you at a traffic light, or
same thing in the community.
A neighbor coming out and saying, "Hey, can you knock out my yard? How much?"
That was the same thing in the community that I was in, because I was in their gym training people, and I was my own business card because people would come in, "Oh, I need help. I need help. I need help." And that's how that developed.
Yeah, you're currently the most accessible authority in the space.
Yeah.
So you're slightly different, but we immediately started like, okay, cool. We know we can do it. We are doing it. And we're doing it based on just, working our friends and family on getting this stuff, off the ground. And then you get into, month 3, month 4, when you've got a decent, amount of money coming in. Great. We got the website done. We have a social media platform now. Now we're catching emails. So then we start building all that stuff out on that side. So that still happens, whether it's the thing you lead with or it's the thing that you do in process. So only slight nuances in that sense. So for you, when did you get to the point where you're like, well, I need to start getting a little bit more guerrilla with my marketing tactics, and what did you do?
Honestly, that really didn't come until B2.
Okay.
Because with Bodywell, it was so referral based. Even when I opened the massage businesses, because I already had that existing network, that was one of the reasons that I felt confident about opening the massage business on the Mount Juliet side, because I already had that network of people and opened it during COVID. And then same thing over here on the Brentwood side, I was networked into my CrossFit gyms, and I was a CrossFit coach and workout people over here. So I already had those existing networks. So I wasn't really, it was still more word of mouth. It was still more referral based. But when B2 came about, that was a whole different animal for me. And I learned a whole different set of, there's still similar things, but everything that I learned from Bodywell played over into B2. But the promotional and marketing and systems that I'm still learning to this day, all of that came about in the last couple of years.
Sure.
Having to figure out the pieces for all of that.
Those are two very big things that I want to dissect. One, word of mouth, right? Word of mouth marketing, because I hear this a lot. And then 2, what does it look like to do guerrilla marketing, or what is guerrilla marketing? Like, how does it work? So those are the topics that we're going to tackle in segment 3. And we're going to do that right after this break.
So I have a question.
Oh, someone's going to
Before the break, we talked about guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean by that term, but tell me what does that mean?
Well, guerrilla marketing, grassroots marketing, marketing that doesn't cost you anything but time.
Okay.
Right. Writing your phone number for a great lawn call on a stall at a truck stop.
Okay.
Guerrilla marketing. And I think a misdemeanor, but that's that's a good example.
So did you do any of that when you were either for the landscaping or for
I
personal
think
training?
that's why I'm saying that it was writing, right? To have a Blogspot account was free.
Okay.
That was back in the day when everyone was blogging, and I want to be a blogger. Now it's a YouTuber. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber.
So that would fall
influencer.
under that category.
Correct.
Okay.
It's what I had access to that only cost me time. Like if you don't have resources, you got to use your time, and if you have, if you do have resources, you want to be careful that you spend the resources in a way that doesn't obviously get you out of time. So
pop quiz. Why do they call it guerrilla marketing?
I wish I could tell you.
What does a gorilla have to do with that?
Pounding the pavement.
Oh.
You're walking around, you're handing out flyers, you're talking to people, you're shaking hands, you're networking.
I was really hoping you wouldn't have an answer to that.
I honestly didn't know until I put it like I thought they were processed, and I'm like, I mean, gorilla, pound the pavement, pound the chest.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that works for me. I'm sure you all know what it means.
I didn't.
I could say just about anything with authority.
This is where you get both sides. This is where you get both sides of it. He has all the knowledge, the book knowledge of business. I have all of the knowledge that I'm learning from him about the book knowledge of business.
So yeah, the guerrilla marketing is the free stuff. It's the Well Pro Thrive thing. Come out to a networking event and pass out some business cards and just tell people what you do.
Gotcha.
Be in the space with other business owners, or be in the space where there are people. And, I used to tell my trainers, get jacked and go to parties. And
that's good.
Yeah.
advice.
And introduce yourself to folks.
Well, that was Barry's boot camp, right? That's what they did, right? They sent their people downtown on a Friday night.
Well, it works.
All fancied up. Yeah,
it's a unique approach. And that's kind of the idea too. It's a natural approach, but it's kind of unique. It's outside of the box thinking.
So that I did do that with that in mind. Even in the community that I started in, it was more of gaining that exposure. So I started writing for the magazine, doing free on my own time because that would get exposure for that. I started doing little lunch and learns about different topics related to fitness and health. Same thing. Right. I was definitely doing that.
So nowadays, guerrilla marketing is a little bit differently. Which the reason why I wanted to talk about word of mouth is that everybody says, well, I don't need marketing services. My business is built on word of mouth, with a little bit of piety in their voice. To you, I want you to pay attention and get real close to the speaker for me. That doesn't work long term, period. You cannot scale on word of mouth. It just doesn't scale.
If that's your goal to get bigger, definitely.
Yeah. Do you want to wait for the word to spread? Or do you want to take advantage of everything that's in your, every resource or every tool that's in the toolbox that's accessible to you? I'm going to pick the latter every time. I'm not going to wait for the word to get out. If I want to grow and scale, I'm going to want to do more than just tell a client to tell a friend.
And as a side note, one of the things that always concerned me as I promote myself or do these things, you have to make sure you have the capacity to handle those things. So if you are promoting, then you have to make sure that if you have somebody else that's going to be working for you, or the capacity, if you're just promoting and it's only you and you don't have that capability to handle what is coming your way, that's going to destroy your reputation if you can't execute that. So
you were 100% right. So if the guerrilla stuff is important, got to do it. So don't mishear me. It's not the magic pill, because there is no magic pill. It's an ingredient in the recipe of business success. Mm-hmm. So you will need it. You will need to do it. What's accessible to you, and for the industry that you're in. And on some level, that could look like giving people a part of your service for free. it's an entry report, or it's maybe you're doing, hey, I'll do your taxes for free for you if you also let me do your family budget. And, to do your family budget for the year would cost you $199.
I was like, wait, you did people's taxes
no,
too?
I'm trying to give more examples than fitness.
I mean, you
and
did put
landscaping.
Christmas lights up. So.
No. Math is where I draw the line.
Personal training, Christmas lights, your taxes. Do what it takes.
Definitely not taxes. I run for the hills at tax season for sure. It's like, we're going to get a refund? No, my kids are out of the house. Dang it. So, no, I just want to give an example of something that it's not necessarily in our frame of industry, because it does, that does matter. So let's get into those foundational things. So we've talked about a website, email capture, and Instagram, but let's put it all together in order. So first of all, you got to do the thing, right? Step one, do it. Don't think about how you're going to do it. Don't put all the things in order for, like, don't go run out and buy the LLC or the domain name until you try out this thing that you're wanting to do.
You may hate it.
You may
get some clients through there and you're like, I can't deal with these people, and then move on.
Exactly. I just coached a buddy up who worked for me for years as a trainer. He's a gymnastics freak. He's got all kinds of gymnastics skills. He's been in gymnastics his entire life. He was a great coach. He was a USAA Olympic gymnast coach. Like, he's on the level. He comes to me and says, I'm good at woodworking. I want to start a construction business. I'm like, okay, cool. He built this shelf and those shelves over there, and he did a great job. And that sweet coat rack behind that camera.
Nice.
And shortly after he built that, he came to me. He's like, what am I doing construction? I was like, I wanted to ask, but I understand that you're trying to, you are trying to make a living for your family, and you're trying to do that by any means necessary. Before he started building all this stuff, he had built a website. He had gotten insurance for construction. He had gotten the business cards. He had the trailer.
He was ready.
And the tools. And now he still has all those things, and he's gone back to fitness. Because it's natural. He's good at it. It's there. It's low-hanging fruit. There's way less effort involved. So yeah, make sure you like it before you buy all the things and do all the stuff and get in that way. So 1, be doing the thing. 2, with your first check, no matter what you're in, I'm sure there is some sort of insurance or liability insurance or some sort of protective barrier that you can purchase, and you should probably do that. Personal trainers, it's liability insurance. Contractors, it's insurance, it's liability insurance as well. Mm-hmm. It's across the board. Like, you got to do what you got to do in that sense. You're gonna create waivers and contracts and things like that. Would be that next step.
They need to be non-negotiable.
Protect yourself in that space. Assuming that you already have an Instagram, because who doesn't? Who's not already on social media? We want that social media platform that typically that's your epicenter of attention. We need to funnel the intention into a funnel. So we want to take that attention that you're getting from the posts that you're doing, whether you're out on the gram doing educational stuff, whether you're on LinkedIn and you're writing articles and doing newsletters there, or whether you're just being silly on Facebook. Whatever it is, you're going to grab attention from folks. You want to every so often direct them to the link in the bio, or the link that you post on LinkedIn, or the link that you post on Facebook. You want to do that every time, because you don't want to wear people out, but you do want to get the herd to move to the barn.
Did you have social media for the landscape company?
Yeah. I think we used at that time the business partner's his Instagram for it to start his personal Instagram. And then we eventually created one that was solely for the business.
And that's a good quick tip. How do you transition over from using your personal, if you've had that exposure on your personal, over to creating a whole new Instagram? And
now it's easier than it was then.
Okay.
Because you can collaborate. So if you start your own business Instagram channel, similar with Facebook, because back then I was using MySpace, so there was no business necessarily MySpace.
For those of you that don't know what MySpace is,
it's the prequel to Facebook.
It's the original, the OG.
Yeah. So yeah, now it's easier because you can start the Instagram account for your business, you could put it on professional status, and you're posting on there as you're posting with the personal, and then you can collaborate, and it's on both platforms, and it helps you move people that are interested in your business from your personal over to the professional side, which is an easy transition nowadays. It's easier than it used to be. So capturing that attention, and we're going to put them in through what we call the customer experience or the funnel. So a lot of times that's a link that you're going to share, and Instagram's a link in bio. Where that link should go to your website, or it's going to go to a landing page. A lot of people are using the link tree, or they used to use the link tree. That can be overwhelming. We do that with Nashville Fit, and then there's almost too many choices for folks in that sense. Like, you do want to get them to the newsletter. So that's our primary goal, because we want you to be there so that you can see and take advantage of all the things that we want to share with you, the recipes, the events, the newest magazine when it comes out, the latest podcast. We're giving away content, right? We're giving away consumable content, and that's what you'll want to do too on your newsletter. You want to establish yourself as an authority in that space, build trust, build reliability, show that you know what you're talking about, and then, deliver on as much free information as possible. Everybody gets really weird about that part.
About delivering free information.
Yeah, because they're like,
giving things away.
If I'm giving it away, how am I going to make any money on it? Well, typically people can't do what you do. Mm-hmm. They're gonna think, everybody's gonna immediately think when they get to your Instagram page, I can do that. I don't need anybody telling me how to work out. I can cut my own tree down.
Yeah. How do you have somebody?
Or the massage therapist, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I can give, I don't need a massage. I can use a roller or whatever. So give away the information. At some point, they're going to realize, I am never going to do this on myself.
Right. Or you're giving information so for massage therapy, and there's probably a lot of businesses like this, we are more therapeutic style massage. So one of the things that I like to do is share information about posture and things like that are it shows what type of business we are.
Right. You've got to earn trust. Mm-hmm. And the best way to earn trust is with value. So we call that the value proposition. I'm going to give you something for being on my newsletter. So whether it's a free PDF downloadable thing, it's a free t-shirt, it's a free class. You see this a lot in the fitness industry. There are 3 free classes. Whatever that thing is, to build the trust, the trust equals loyalty. Loyalty equals relationship, or relationship equals loyalty. Those things, I think, are interchangeable based depending on how people come to you, and what that lends itself to is a loyal client, right? Like, why would they want to go anywhere if they've got a relationship with you and you're delivering? Oh, you're over delivering,
right?
Like, why would they not want to do that? So if they're going to get to the newsletter, they're probably on their way to your website, which is also going to be chock full of information for them. And those are great places and great ways in which to build that trust, right? So those are foundational things. Instagram or social media platforms of some sort, so that you can easily talk to your would-be clients. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to do that. You're going to want to capture their attention.
Let them get to know you.
That's hard. You got to do it quickly.
Yeah.
You got to do it simply. I just sent you one. I think I sent it to you and Carrie and Jen as well, of a pelvic floor therapist. And I loved the video. It's so unique. It's so much fun. They're making light of something that is actually typically takes a lot of education to get people to stop and watch. And it's a female pelvic floor therapist, and I have no reason to watch this video.
But you watched it.
It was hilarious.
Good job.
Good job for her.
Good job, PT.
Way to go. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So you got to capture their attention. Lead them to your link. Your link should capture their email address on their way to your website. In order for them to do that, you're going to want to deliver value, and you're going to want to try to over-deliver on that value. That doesn't mean you put all the information into one long email. That just means you put information in the email, and then the one after that, and the one after that, and then the website. And you're really trying to lead with info, trying to lead with value. And that will matter, because one day they're going to show up at your door and they're like, I've been following you for years. I'm excited to be here. That was the guy who came yesterday.
Yeah.
I've watched you for years. Do what you're doing. You're clearly good at this. Let me come and sit in here. I shower me with wisdom. So we're going to get to more of this right after this break. My fire alarm's going off.
Welcome back, peeps. Before we went on our break and the fire alarm went off, don't worry, we're fine. Terry was telling us about all the things to funnel people.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. You like that?
I did.
So for me, I'm listening to you as we have determined he has a lot of the book and terms, and I'm asking questions about, I know what these things are, not by their terms, some of them. So I think about that. I'm very visual. And I think about that of, what is, when I go to a website and I am trying to enter a website and shop for something or whatever, it's exactly what you're talking about, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So they're asking me for my email address. You can sign up to receive 10% discount. You have to sign up for texts or emails or whatever. That's exactly what you're talking about, to funnel people to you, right?
100%.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite illustrations of this is the cologne that I recently bought that, you see on Facebook, and I'm going to throw myself under the bus and say that I got caught in the web of their advertising.
It smells good though.
But it was supposed to be to make my wife, flutter. I had the pheromone.
Carrie, did you flutter?
No. No. It legit
no
took
fluttering.
5 tries and me keeping my mouth shut, just hoping she would smell it and never respond. I was like, do you smell the cologne that I spent way too much money on from Facebook?
I think I responded, but it's because we're in an office that is closed. So
Yes.
It probably made the difference.
But it was a great funnel. And the advertising,
They gotcha.
They definitely knew how to advertise to a dude, right? They played upon my insecurities of not being noticed by my wife, or so many other guys want to be noticed by women. Like, this cologne will give you that pheromone that just women can't get enough of. Turns out they don't. Turns out they don't even care about your pheromone. But once you click on the ad, and you get the first thing they pop up is like, okay, add 2 bottles for 50% off. You're like, no, I'm good. You get to the next one, add 4 bottles for 75% off. No, I'm good. You get to the 5th part of the funnel, and it's buy 4 get 1 free. I'm like, no one needs that much cologne.
Terry has 12 bottles of this sitting on his counter, and Carrie is behind the camera right now, just laughing and shaking her head.
I don't, but I only bought 1. But after that, then you start getting the communication, right? Because now you bought the thing. Now they're going to try to sell you more of the thing over time. Mm-hmm. Which, annoying or not, I submitted myself to the funnel. I knew what I was getting myself into.
And were you thinking the whole time you did this, this is a funnel. This is exactly what they're trying to get me. I know exactly.
Oh, I resisted it for a long time. But it's a great funnel. It's a very good example. It's product based. So it's retail. This is where Roy would be really helpful in that, because Roy does this too with his the t-shirt business. That there is a way that they do their sales with their social media that leads people down the the funnel. You get that value add, like, you're here, why not grab this other thing for 50% off of its regular price? Right. And that stuff works. It's convenient. I'm typically not going to make it back unless I'm hounded. So that is in essence the customer journey. It's a little bit different in the service business, as it should be. Should be built on trust and loyalty as opposed to a product.
I guess it would be considered the same type of thing. We do chair massage events or marketing
There we
events
go.
all the time, and we always have a bucket for win a free massage, and we're collecting email addresses when we do that so that they go on our email list so that every week they're seeing what our available appointments are.
Right.
So same, different method, but same type of thing. You're putting them in the funnel.
That's exactly right. So we talk about this a lot during expo season, which we are entering into now. That's why an expo is great, right? Yeah, you got to pay to be there, but you're paying to be in front of. You're having access to a giant crowd of people that are hyper focused to your industry.
And you need to do that, if nothing else, for your own brain, because when you have that instant satisfaction of all of those people coming directly to you in one place, that is the most efficient type of marketing that you can do.
It is. And it's also a learning opportunity, because I get this a lot with the marketing. It's like, oh, we're done marketing. Y'all didn't, you didn't bring as many leads as we were hoping. And sometimes it's a broken funnel. So if it's going to take 6 or more clicks to get to book an appointment, that's not my fault.
Like what we talked about. I'm out.
100% out.
I'm out.
On the other side of that, if your product isn't interesting and there isn't a good value proposition, that's also not on us. Like, you're going to want to have that stuff in place first. And oftentimes people don't know that or want to hear it, honestly, sometimes from me, but they'll listen to their customers. So if you put yourself at an expo or at a farmer's market or a networking event, and you're interacting with folks on your product, you're going to get feedback naturally. You can be able to read responses. You're going to be able to see how they interact with your product. And if you're paying attention, you're not going to blame them. You're going to learn from them. And that's a really important key factor here. Sometimes the reason why your funnel's not working is because your product's not interesting to that people group, and you're going to need to adapt or pivot. So,
have you ever had that?
Well, I was going to ask you, have you ever had that?
I think that I have learned that with staff over time at those events. That would be one way that I have seen interactions more closely for if we're doing chair massage events. Typically, I know how my staff is, but if I'm seeing an interaction that people are not responding to a particular therapist, then I have had that before. So I've had conversations with them about interactions with clients. That would probably be the biggest firsthand experience of that. Have you had it?
I've got 2 examples for the sake of time. I will go quickly. One is, we used to, back in the day when we first started the gym, we had a noon class where people could come in and do boot camp. But the kickback we kept getting was that this is my lunch hour. I want to do a workout, but I got to get back to work. And typically I'm going to go back to work. I don't know if I can get my lunch in or not. So we were sending people out with a smoothie.
Oh, that's smart.
So we would do the boot camp, we'd make the smoothie, and that was all rolled into that cost. And they felt awesome because they can, towel off or hop in the shower for a quick shower and then head right back to work, and they felt great about their day. Another example is with the tree business. We oftentimes are working for homeowners associations in these neighborhoods or these developments, and they're not going to cold call you and be like, hey, yeah, we got some trees we think we need you to look at. The best thing you can do in that thing is go drive through the whole housing development, take note of the trees that are in trouble, put together a quick little report, and then shoot an email over and say, hey, here's what we noticed, and here's how we can take care of it.
That has worked on me before.
It works a lot.
Yeah. You just made my life a lot easier because I don't have to go searching for somebody to take care of that.
Now, what's funny about that is I've had folks come to me and be like, hey, so this so-and-so tree company sent me this proposal. You think you can beat it? And I'll look over it and be like, I can beat it by $250. Great, it's yours. So that guy gave me work too. So.
Yeah, nice.
But those are good examples of, how to pivot that product and help people, by figuring out what it is they need or want as opposed to what you're offering. So a lot to unpack here. I know that was drinking from a fire hose. Just
don't let it overwhelm you. Do the thing. Do
Right.
the thing. And then if you're not going to hit everything right. I mean, we've both learned many times you're going to adjust, you're going to adapt, you're not going to do everything perfect. And it's a journey.
Yeah. And here's the final piece of advice as we shut this show down for this episode is, one, do not position yourself as the only one in the world who knows the thing. If I hear that one more time, I'm going to mess somebody up.
Agreed.
That is not a thing. You've not That's just not a thing. So don't say it. No one believes that, first of all, and you're putting yourself in a pickle, because if that's true, then there's no pivot, right? The pivot is a lot harder.
It comes across as very cocky, and it does not come across as trustworthy.
Exactly. It's very off-putting. So stay out of that. Don't do that. Have some humility and be able to look at yourself and your business from 30,000 feet up. If you can't do that, invite somebody in who can, somebody who is an independent third party that can look at your business, from the top down and tell you where you're missing the elements. Those two things are really helpful when you're stuck in the mud, and we all get there. We all hit that space and can't figure out where to go from here. So just know that you're not alone in that. Pivots are real. Pivots are often, and they are painful, but if you can figure out how to pivot what you're doing.
Everybody has them too.
Everybody has to do it. The better you get at it, the faster you get at it, a lot less stressful your life will be. So that is the show for today, guys. We really appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed any of the information that you heard, please like and subscribe. If you're listening to this on WNSR radio, please download our app. It's the Nashville Fit app. You can find it on NashvilleFitMagazine.com. You can catch all of the podcasts on the entire network. You can work out. You can catch some nutrition. You can even ask questions on our community page, and you can read the magazine digitally. So on behalf of Roy Mangrum, who could not be here today, Vanessa Hampton, I'm Terry Bargy for Spread the Positive and Nashville Fit Magazine. We will see you on the next one.